Yes, it's time for them to go to bed. Oh dear. Yes. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Bum, bum, bum. Someone else has it. I want this one. Good evening. How are we? Hopefully you can hear me a bit better tonight. Lots of hay. Sorry, mate. I don't like we doing? Can we hear me tonight? That's an important question. Okay. Oh, this feels so slow. These roads are going to be absolutely massive. Get to the usually only got home 20 minutes ago. And got a coffee or something. Biscuits. Not breaking. 2 seconds. Leave it as you go. If anything, have a look. I had to spread this grass out today so it wasn't quite as bad as things too much. So I was uneven too. Even this is a surplus. Still not working right. I'll get the import fixed tomorrow. I didn't get home in time to try and fix it myself today, unfortunately. Good. Thanks for the follow. Slang. Yeah, slang. I'm going to guess that as. Much appreciated. I know where I'll put in a minute when I bail this lot. Thanks. I hate butchering names. I always feel bad when I do it. Yes. There we go. Very fascinating. My vision's of that teleporting over there. Oh, I still gonna expect those fast. Annoying me like that used to be gearbox. Without the heads. A proper swap slope. Proper swaps. Hopefully I don't get too many bales off this, but then at the same time I want a decent amount of bales off it, if that makes sense. But then I might do this as a third pot as well. Bale my other fields. Both on the camps and full. Funny feeling I struggle to get that in the baler. I struggle with half of these rolls in the baler to be fair. Oh, Dustin, why did you have to dump it like that? What's done is done. What have we got? Sand, there's the biscuit, I got it. Might jump to my VC in a minute. Server VC, Just me or does it feel really slow? Guess I don't mess with those. I know I'll do that. I got some new pets today, got some gearloons. And that make them nothing else. Throw them there. Bedding everywhere. Everybody got? We were here a minute ago. Warm. It's a little bit warm. Just so I don't mess my road up. When I get back to the farm, I need to do a TM on it. Oh yeah. Too warm. Quite rather than big road. Yay, last run. Hopefully. Yeah, that'll do. Work the baler. Synchronization. What on earth? Okay. Something wrong with the game log there. Right, I'm just going to take my jumper off 2 seconds. There we go. Right. Close that. Right there. Hello, Jacob.
Evening.
I didn't realise you were in here, otherwise I would have been here sooner.
I expected you to be joining as you were streaming.
Yeah.
And
Neo's nick me sound. Somebody always nicks my sound. Right. Big tractor.
what are you up to tonight?
Making some hay with massive swaths.
Just getting Yelly's OSR clear.
Yeah.
Don't think he's going to be able to do any of it.
But that's good. Yeah, these swaths are going
Go for a remind day then.
there was extremely large swaths.
If you want the square bather with the big pickup, let me know.
Now I'll still have to do 2 passes with that.
We did when we did Samsfield.
Now all the excess grass got dumped in here.
Oh, right.
So
Right.
yeah, it's a busy campsite.
Are you still going to need a combine every year?
Until I can afford my own, yes.
Because if I'm stopping the contracting, I can leave it at your yard. Well, I suppose it's just easy to have it out of the way though, isn't it?
Yeah. The plan is eventually to get a combine anyway.
Which one would you get?
Spent
Nah.
you don't really need to aspect.
I don't do it.
That's waiting on Sam. Touching him up.
So we still need to get the Fendt combine and the Fendt forager on. Have your full fleet. The Fendt bather on here. Well,
Yeah, I'll get the phone made at some point.
I'll probably pick up the Massey bather once I've got a big truck. Oh, what did you get?
2 gerbils.
Are they one of those ones that's asleep in the day and really active in the night?
No.
Or is that just hamsters? Nah, sensible choice.
go share it now.
Yeah, I've never been allowed one for very good reason.
It's like you couldn't feed it.
Do the cats and the gerbils get?
Yeah. Now we're keeping it apart from each other.
Probably the best bit.
Are you bathing any stores where the water's chopping?
Bathing it. At the end of the day, it's extra money, isn't it?
Well,
Put it in his shed, he can do what he wants with it. But I'll probably just leave his field as stubble, so when he comes on, he can do what he wants with it.
yeah, I think I've got a second guess what it was to do, isn't it?
Haven't seen about on Discord for a little while, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be able to ask him.
Just about one way.
Yeah, I couldn't stand them for any longer, so got my school. Reality, of course, are fine.
FS. Hey.
They just don't abide by the laws of physics.
No. I feel like we're missing part of the conversation.
Because they're all PC. How much you got left to do?
About half a field.
You'll get through it on that one.
Take all the kit back. Mail trader down.
Oh, I need to go get my bale trailer. Is there anything you need a hand with tonight?
Might need a hand collecting bales.
Right. Because I've got nothing to do other than Yellow's field. Oh no, actually. Got a bit to do, but I've got all week.
Yeah.
When do you want to do the rest of your harvesting?
Whenever. If you're okay with me nicking one line at some point, then
Yeah, go ahead.
borrow it.
Happy to drive the combine at some point. Yeah, it is. That's quite impressive.
Yeah. You have any exams today then?
I had maths first thing at 8:45, which was a bit of a pain. It was an hour and a half exam, but it's over, so take that.
Yeah.
And I got some decent results back today as well. Not a bad day, really. Didn't get up too much, did it? Down to about 10 people rolling back to the park. Get it feel with it then. Not a lot, really. Pretty much done. square bay, hasn't it?
Also got the 724s.
Oh. That's what I'm doing, going for a bigger tractor and then grading the kit around it.
Bigger tractors or bigger.
So you can upgrade everything to suit the bigger tractor. Is there any news on the 724 mod that's being talked about?
Yeah, it's on Sam's to-do list.
Right.
You were saying earlier you want to maybe start getting the more modern stuff, bigger tractors done. So.
Be nice to see.
It's just a shame it's not really.
I'm saving up to 300k to get my big Massey.
724 black unit needs about 205k.
Ouch, horsepower.
240.
That's a rip off. Get a 7726 Massey for 208k with 180 horsepower.
Takes a go.
Lots of bits left around the field.
Yeah,
Be useful. How many tractors did you have at the end of the bus?
3, I think.
What was it?
Might have been 2 on the telehandler, or 3 on the telehandler.
I think it was 3, because you had the 2 724s, and then I think you still have the 309.
I think so.
Then you have the nice Merlot telly. Was it a Merlot or was it a Manatee?
I don't like the Merlots.
Why not?
I don't know, I just don't.
Manatee is a nice bit of kit.
I don't say there's half a field of grass in this.
Where?
102.
Oh, yeah. Because I was told to stop,
Yeah, it's alright.
so I drove straight out the field.
Oh, it's field, square bay with the square bay side.
I'm done baling Gelly's field. Still fine.
I've also been told you to start washing my kit and put it on. Costs more.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I've got stuff that I haven't washed once since I got it, so.
I get annoyed when it's too dirty. Basically.
Tractors are dirty and equipment are back on.
Sorry?
If tractors are too dirty, the equipment are back on.
I just like everything nice and clean.
Even the front loader tools are all nice and clean.
Is that because they're probably used much?
That's because they're running from pressure. Can't be walking too far. Daily upkeep on my 309 is £6. £13 on the 600 pound.
Do you want the baler dropped off down at your yard?
You can do if you don't mind.
Actually. Oh. Hello, Sam. I'll drop this grain off at Dusty's. Then I'll drop the baler down with you.
Thank you, sir. Might be going to just go Germany or something. Tyler?
Just the gerbils up.
No, they're burrowing under everything.
Oh.
Quite literally everything.
What, they're running around the house or something?
Well, if they were doing that, I would have been gone. I would have been missing anything. I have 2 very succeeded at that. And very submissive as well. Yeah.
Who was it who wanted the gerbils?
Well, the kids, they wanted hamsters missing like the gerbils and stuff.
Good idea. Actually, any reason to have a hamster rather than having a gerbil?
Not that I'm aware of.
Evening, both.
Evening, Sam.
Are you guys getting a bit of lag on the server tonight? Like, as in the speed is reduced of everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's not just me then.
I was in my low horsepower tractor, so I'm just struggling.
I know. Like, I'm struggling to do 6 mile an hour with my John Deere with a class rake.
That does explain why I can't go above 12.
Yeah. It's a bit painful.
Do you have any idea what causes it?
It's the server itself. It's not us. It's not the game or the because our game's pretty optimized. It's just very game server is not very good at this time of night sometimes.
So it's just
Ian get a bit fed up with them, yes.
Is there any other server place we could go?
I think it's more to do with the farm sim servers. It's ever since they compiled all the FS17 servers into one, and that was not the Dedi company. That was Giants doing that.
Yeah.
And ever since they did that, it's knocked the performance standards of the 17 servers massively.
That's a shame.
Probably on purpose, because they don't care if they ruin those servers. Although ironically, it's not as if the 19 servers are much better either, though. So
No.
they're pretty laggy and unstable as well. So
Well, that's just the whole game, though, isn't it?
yeah. Well, don't worry. There's a much more optimized game coming soon.
I don't think I've heard any good news about that yet.
I've heard a fair bit of positive comments, usually from the usual ones, like on Giants Forum, who are very pro Giants.
There's, from what I've seen so far, there's the odd bit of improvement.
Somebody made a comment of, "Wow, there's like actual proper 3D textures and models on the doors and on the buildings now." I'm like, what were you playing before? Some people's expectations are pretty low.
Yeah.
Set the bar too high, then you can't be too disappointed, can
Yeah, there is that, I suppose.
I don't have high hopes, because apparently they've announced now that Farming 22 is going to be cross-play. I.e. you could play with PC and console.
you? Oh, please don't.
Is it cross-play, is it? Oh, wow.
Yeah, which makes me think it'll be even more console-based.
Yeah.
But that means if PC wants to play with console, you've got to play with the console spec mods.
Yeah.
That's a bit worrying.
Yes, that's what I thought when I saw it.
So why all your nice scripts and everything else?
Hmm.
All licensed brands and...
I don't know if it's been... Oh, there's money in your field just in front of available. Yeah, I'll leave it there for you. Somebody just posted it in the Discord server. Let me find it. There you go.
I saw, I can't remember where I read it. I think it was on Giants Forum somewhere. Somebody commented about the fact that it seemed from what they've been chatting with somebody else who was supposedly in the know. I think it was one of the YouTubers who's a high-up partner with Giants, and they were saying that, you know, if you want to know what the future of farm sim is, look at the FSL because that's the market that they're aiming for. And and even the person who's posting this was saying that they found that really worrying.
Oh.
So please no. But then there's a lot of people saying, oh, I want the game to have a blank map and have everything be placeable, and I can place what I want on the map and stuff.
I've seen plenty of that.
So it's just, what's irritating me is it's like Farm Sim has always been about catering to any play style. So you get a nice, you know, a reasonable base game, and then after that, you let the modders do what they want with it, and then we can cater to every country and style of gameplay.
Yeah, you don't focus it in the base game to any one particular.
But but if you start restricting the base game to like one set play style, it makes it really hard then to mod the game to different play styles. Then I don't quite know why they're doing that so much. It seems weird. I mean, maybe they won't. I don't know, but it seems a strange way to go down that route.
They said in the announcement more freedom than ever before, or something along those lines, which makes me think that everything's going to be placeable in the next game.
I expect there will be a lot more emphasis on placeable again. I expect.
They said when they were developing 19 that in the future they wanted to make everything on a map placeable, so you could move it if you didn't like it.
More Lego built farms that look absolutely appalling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay! Can't wait for that. Not.
Yeah.
To be fair, so
But
far... Sorry.
Go on. No, go on, Jacob. No.
From the screenshot I saw of the American map, it looks almost slightly better than the 19 base map.
Yeah, some people reckon it could be perhaps like set in like Canada, maybe with all the maple leaf stuff that they.
Sorry, go on.
That seems to be a common threat, the common idea that it could be a Canadian map, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you see the picture of the grass texture on it? Yeah.
What, the one with the cow shed, you mean? Yeah, that's like luminous green one.
Yeah.
Apparently, I was told, I checked with the Giants ambassador, and they did say that they asked about that because they were a bit worried about that, and they were told no, that's not a final texture, that's just a placeholder texture.
Oh, good.
So that's not that it looked amazing, not that the texture looked amazing either, but that's not the finished result. That is like an alpha. Those are like alpha build screenshots. So.
Didn't they say that with the last ones though?
Yeah.
Giant.
They did. They said that about the American grass on like Ravenport, and then they released it like that.
You get it in game, it's actually even worse than the screen.
I still can't get over when that person did a comparison with, was it Far Cry 2 or 3 or something, one of the old Far Cry games, and it was like, that's the same grass. That is honestly the identical same grass, massive oversized grass that looks really weird, and it's like that was like a game like about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But there we go. I got a bit behind on my farm because I've had so many days away from the PC this last week, so that I didn't get my grass raked and baled and wrapped before the transition. So
did you get it cut?
I did get. I think I got every field cut, fortunately. So it's not too bad. So it just means I'll have to do. I can't roll them this time. I'll spread the digestate once I've baled and wrapped and move them, and then once it's fully grown, I'll just put some solid fur on it probably for the last stage before I cut it again.
Yeah.
I just haven't had a chance this last week to take it on the PC, so. I'm going to cut that. I'm cutting all the grass fields down this time, anyways. After this third cut, anyway.
Is there any reason why?
Go on.
I planted a field last week and it's grown a stage, but everything else has grown a stage.
Did you say it hasn't grown a stage?
No.
Did you plant it before the sowing time? Check on the seasons menu.
Grass, so...
Is it grass, you say?
No, grass can be sown.
Yeah, grass at any time. It might not grow until a certain... the season geos are really weird with the crops. It's like sometimes it will allow growth at certain times of the year and sometimes it won't, so...
Wait and see.
The grass growth is reasonably default on this. The only thing I changed about it was it grows a bit quicker in the spring.
It's really weird because there's this massive square of fertilizer in the middle of the field that's like the texture of the crop when it's transitioned, and I thought it was just desync, but I've been on here for an hour now and it's still there.
Yeah, sometimes it'll stay the entire time you're on there. Sometimes it's like a sync glitch with the seasons, and it just doesn't ever fix until you quit out and then come back in again, which is a bit irritating.
Here's a bit.
Evening Dark Dragon Holiday.
Do you still need ham?
If you want to come and collect some bales, though, you're more than welcome to.
I'll do yellies first,
Yeah, that's fine.
so I can get that in the shed because the straw.
What's it? I've got a soggy bale.
It is a lot nicer using a twin rotor rake than the single rotor. It's a lot quicker.
If you had all week and nothing else to do, then it'd be...
I actually really like the way the single rotor works. It's quite satisfying having to do it different ways. But if you want to get a job done quickly, it is a bit of a faff.
It's good that there's no water damage on this. Now I'm a soggy bale.
Which of the existing maps do they say that they're keeping on for the next game?
the DLC one.
Yeah.
The Alpine one, is it?
Yeah.
It's
That makes sense.
DLC map they keep on, ain't it?
Yeah, you can say usually, isn't it?
Or factory edition or whatever you want to call it.
Hopefully the base maps are slightly less of a joke this time.
Well, maybe with the way the Alpine map was done, because that was, as far as giant maps goes, that actually wasn't a bad map. I was thinking like with the way they upped the way the distant scenery and the map border was done, wasn't it?
It felt like a real place as well.
Yeah, it felt quite cool. Not that I've played it just from the screenshots I see, and I know they used a whole new method of doing the distant scenery, which is quite advanced, way more than some of the models could manage. It's quite a clever little. David Oxney was showing me how they did it because he asked about it, and he got a bit of info from them about how they'd done it. It was quite clever. It was.
What sort of? How do they do it? If you
It's like a 3D model, but then they use like a special shader, and like these special masks on the shader, and then that that determines what parts are coloured what. So basically, it's a way of making distant scenery matching with the textures of the game.
Oh.
If that makes sense.
Sounds quite clever.
So, which is quite clever. So I would think if they've done that for the DLC map, expect to see that for the 2 new maps as well.
So that's another hope that they look a lot better.
Yeah, I think they are slowly upping their game in that regard, I think. That's why both me and Oxy want to find a way of making far more realistic map map borders now. Way beyond what he's done on Calms, and like way beyond that sort of thing.
What sort of thing would you need to do for that?
Really, you're talking sort of quite a major 3D terrain that's all blended with the right fields and things. But there's other ways, like there is that way of importing some of the 3D terrain from Google Earth, and not just like the actual 3D Google Earth data. In certain areas of the UK and parts of the world, you can actually import that into Blender and have it as like a 3D model with like the trees and the hedges all like stood up and the buildings, which is really cool. Yeah, Oxy was showing he did trial a few bits, but the only problem is it's quite patchy as to which areas you can get the data for. So it's a bit limited if you want an exact area.
So with the trees, is that a model that Google's just created from its trade data? Or is that
Yeah, basically. The other problem is whereas the way it pulls it into Blender, everything's got its own material. So there's like, if you had like a 1 kilometer area square, you could have like hundreds of like separate materials and UVs, which are a bit of a pain, which obviously you wouldn't want in a game. So you'd have to completely re-UV everything yourself, which would take a lot of work. So it's not perfect, but it's a bit. Not sure how the best way to do that really, but. I was
an idea?
Yeah, well, I was trying the other method where you can there's an add-on for Blender where you can pull in any of the Google Earth data, the geo data, and it will instantly create a basic model mesh of the terrain. Obviously, it's not like the trees and hedges aren't all 3D and stuff. They're all flat on the model, but it does superimpose the Google Earth image on the model with the actual terrain shape. The only thing is, like Google Earth data, it's only accurate to like 30 meters, so it's not amazingly accurate. But for like somewhere in between edge of the map border and then just beyond, it would work alright for that. It would.
If you use the Google Earth data though to make the map, would it flow pretty seamlessly?
Yeah. You should probably when you're talking like a 100-foot difference, like range, it means anything under 100-foot difference. It isn't on the model.
Ah, right.
So like 100 feet is quite a difference. So
yeah.
It's not perfect. You'd have to adjust it manually and get it sort of all tweaked in game slightly. In G and sort of blend the terrain up to it and tweak the model several quite a few times. That's we did a basic version of that with like Lone Oak. That's how we did the Lone Oak map border. Was a sort of basic version of that. So you could take that method and sort of take it to the next level. The other thing to do as well is things like making the textures of the fields that are on the 3D model on the outside of the map, make them the same as the distant textures in the game, and then that helps blend it further as well. Then, a bit like Roxy did with like Oakfield. That's what he did with Oakfield. He did.
Is it possible to? Is there any way you can't create fields off of the map, or is that just physically impossible?
How do you mean now?
As in, you could have an actual field, or at least something that looks like a giant's field with props, etc.
Yeah, reasonably. I mean, it depends. Obviously, you can't have any footage on it. Obviously, if it's off the map, but
because in 19, you can. I don't know if it's the same in 17, but in 19 you can just take the model of the foliage and you can place it on the map if you want to. Could you technically do that? Make fields? If that's on the way, or would that not really work?
What model did you say? Place what model?
Like Well, I suppose for a piece of grass, you could just take the model for that bit of grass and put it on a map.
As in, like, just for like the. Because I'm not sure because that might be similar to what I've done on this map, like the grass fields around the edge of the map that go off like beyond field 2. I've used Giant's model, which was on one of the default maps, which has the grass distance texture like painted onto it, so it looks like from a distance it looks like it's the same as the ground grass texture that's on the actual map itself, and then that's just on the model, so roughly the same resolution. I'm not sure if that's what you mean.
No, I'm really tired, so I'm terrible at explaining.
That's right, alright.
But as in, like the individual foliage model.
Oh right, the foliage. You could that'd be like the billboard, the like tree lods. So you just have to have a 2D plane, but I mean to do that you'd have to be, because you think about it, that the grass foliage is literally to have the same density. I mean, to be honest, that's the thing, because there's always the magic circle of detailed foliage in the game, which there'll always be, even though people keep saying to Giants, get rid of that as if it's something that they can get rid of. Because all the foliage goes into distant textures anyway, you don't really need to do that, because you would never actually see that. I mean, I think the best thing to do is to have it as what did I do that for? Weird. Sorry, my grass window is going weird. What I've done is just match where it joins the actual map terrain. Just have it matching with the ground texture instead, which is what you'd see in the distance anyway. Then.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Obviously better for performance as well, because even like I've got all those treescape billboard models, which are just 2D models with a picture of a real forest imposed on it, edge on it. But even those, I mean, you add several hundred of those around a map. That's all going to add to the performance drain on it. So. This is what people like. You see so many stupid comments like on Facebook and Giants forum, and like they just don't get how games work. It's like one person said one of his wishes for FS22 is that they remove all 2D textures from the game and make everything 3D. And it's like, well, that's just a stupid comment, because it's like that. There is no game out there that has all 3D textures. Every game uses 2D textures, so.
Yeah, the sort of people you have to ask how exactly they're planning on doing that.
Well, it's people who don't really know about the game, and they don't know how a game works or anything like that. So,
still a lot of people who seem to be hopeful that there's going to be deformable terrain.
Yeah. The thing is, the only game that has deformable terrain of a sort is Spin Tires. But technically, and because Catalan Crops have confirmed, theirs isn't deformable terrain. It's just a very advanced mesh translation on the map model.
It's considerably more advanced than what Giants have got.
Yeah, and a lot more intensive.
Right.
It's effectively the same thing that you have with the windrow material, effectively. Right. But it's kind of, not exactly that, but it's kind of that principle.
Similar idea, yeah.
It's just taken to a lot more higher. Dusty with his fancy new T-Series Valtra and his big plough.
Yeah, very envious of his
6.0. I know, I got to get on and get a load of other newer tractors done up for the server.
Envious of Wayne's £1 million bank.
I think everybody's envious of Wayne.
Yeah. Which newer tractors have you got to do up still?
There's the 6600 Massey series to go back over from the old server and tweak it and improve it a bit more. There's the smaller 7700 series and the larger 7700 series to do. I did wonder about getting hold of the because there is that the S version bonnet, isn't there? That's on that 67.
Yeah.
So I did wonder about grabbing that bonnet and making a 67 as well. But I don't know. I'll see. Then there's. I wanted to do the proper New Holland, like a sort of New Holland fleet mod. So not completely like the old one, but take the T5, T6, both sizes, both T7s, the smaller and the large. Well, like we've got the small one already on the server, but the larger T7, the old shape one, because that bonnet's an old bonnet from the old Pro Farm one, from like 2011. So that could do with doing up a little bit better.
Yeah.
But so you'd have the new shape bonnet and the old shape bonnet versions all in the same pack, and then all of them have. You can choose between ordinary New Holland, blue power, black power, and all that sort of thing. And have them all done up really nice then. Because we did have a mod. I did edit the Spartans NH New Holland fleet mod a while ago, back for the first server on the West Coast, and that was quite nice. But it needs redoing massively from when I did it then. So, and then what else was there? There's a few other things I want to do as well. I can't remember now. Oh, there's all the fence to finish off doing as well.
Yeah.
So
Don't forget my fence.
I haven't forgotten your fence.
Is there any feasibility of doing a new class tractor in there?
Oh yeah, because I've got to get the. We haven't added Adam's newer ship Arion, and we haven't added the older Arion either as well.
Have you ever looked at Smetty's Axions?
The 800 and the 900.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did wonder, only because they were so massive. They're like the massive ones. I never did add those because we still got the older shape Axion to add as well, which is quite a nice model, even though it's quite high poly. But yeah, I never thought about adding the big ones in Smetty because although they're done really nice, it's just because they're like the newer shape ones. They're so massive. It's like a bit big, but I mean we could always add them, I suppose, if somebody wants them.
I was considering getting a high horsepower tractor so I could, in future, if I wanted to, well, when I eventually have a more flexible real life schedule and I can get on the server at more regular intervals, I wouldn't mind having things like the pelletizer and
Oh, you know, so you'd need a real high horsepower one then, yeah.
I'd just like to have a tractor that could run anything, so I'm open to do anything. And I was having a play about with the Axion 9 single player. Oh, you wanted to handle bale stacking, didn't you?
I should be alright. I've got the first load done. I'm just doing the second load going on 6 months.
Ah, good. Sorry, I've only just finished Yellies. Have you started silage baling yet? Oh, you need them.
Sorry, I was AFK then. Sorry.
I need the site hard bale.
Sorry about that. My youngest daughter couldn't find her pink sparkly pad to write. To draw some pictures on. And then she found it staring right at her in the face on the arm of the sofa.
Okay, this isn't supposed to happen.
Off you broke now.
I've just thrown myself out the map.
Nice one.
Oh, I did that the other day.
How far out to the map?
Just in the little grass field outside 122.
Ah.
I made the mistake of falling onto the map.
With a vehicle or just as a player?
With a vehicle.
Oh, you better.
Wait, how did you manage that?
I got the forge caught in the fence in the edge and
Oh.
it
Good old edge collision.
I'm not sure if the forks. I've got a feeling. I'm not sure if front loader forks. I'm not sure if they work the same as combine attachers. I'm not sure. As a headers, I'm not sure if they work off the same collision mask.
I never thought they had, but then I just can't remember trying.
No, I can't remember if I've driven through with one before we changed them to solid collisions.
Evening, DB. I'm not bad. I can sort of lock myself back over that.
Yeah, Jason's happy because he wanted to do more arable on our farm, so we're going full arable now. So, well, almost full arable next year.
Very nice. That'll be why you're buying your combine.
Yeah, we got the combine. Jason picked it up early today, so.
Oh, what did you get?
Got the Massey we did, but with the grey rims, like same as we used to have on like Cobra. So.
Yeah, I got it with the red rims.
I actually quite liked the red rims, although we didn't have it with the red rims. I actually quite liked it with the red rims when I was doing it. I was like, actually, it sort of was. I actually liked it probably more, but I thought I'd go with what we used to have.
Red rims is the one that I've been watching ever since I was little. That works just up the road where I live has red rims, so just thought I'd spec it like that.
Go back a sec.
Yeah, my mic's. I'm still having mic issues from the other day when I was a bit dense. I can feel the have to reset it all. Pain to do that.
Really, anything I can do to help you there, is there?
Really.
Shall I go and get Ian's wrapper?
Nah, just wants to show off the 360. I'm going to do it.
Do you need the silage bale, perhaps?
I will need bale wrapping as well.
Shall I go and get a wrapper and bring it down?
Yeah, can do. I'm going to reset all this.
Sure, I'll go and get the wrapper. I'll bring it down to the field, but I might have to park up there for the night because I'll need to be off by 10.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. Come on, silly game, faster. Takes forever to reset stuff.
Have we ever put simple reset on here?
No.
Is that a mod that would ever be considered?
I think it'd get abused like it did on mine at the very end.
Yeah. I mean, that was quite good fun at the same time.
Yeah.
Like when we decided to see what machines we could get on the roof of the challenge shop.
Sounds like you're having fun, David. Option 10.5 field environment.
It's like the equivalent of all the fields I own here put together.
Very much.
Because I've only got 12 hectares.
Let's try it. Come on, get away, sweetheart.
certainly doesn't sound like it.
That's plenty of time, people. Use race it the rain. Big ones.
Yeah. Sorry?
These are my shallows in the track.
I think it would.
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, you were plugged on with the store. Fingers crossed.
Evening, Andy.
Yeah, Adam has just stopped in the fields. I've dropped off Ian's bale wrapper down. So.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, park up to the night and head on.
Oh no, Landy, it's issues. I'll try and get it sorted out tomorrow. I had hoped to do it today, but I didn't have time. Busy doing other things, and now I can't drive. Can't turn it down no lower. Landy's already on 10%.
Right, I'll see you later.
Yeah, see you later. I think it's issues from the other night when I last week sometime when I was moving my computer around, putting like microphone and stuff in the wrong way around without realising. And I started messing about the settings when I didn't need to. Disappeared then. I don't know what setting I've changed, so it's not taking a while to fix it. Got some carried away. On the trailer. What was a shout? Tell me that. What star's that landed? I'm not as talented as you. Yeah, I'm good, but I ain't that good.
Back.
Go against that.
Oh. I missed Jacob going today.
Yeah.
Right, so it's 10 o'clock now, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, with Jacob gone, I've gained 1.5 mile an hour more speed.
Every little helps.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I keep meaning to have a look at the Fendt Katana model as well. And get that done up for the server as well for you.
Definitely got a whole hog with the fence then.
And then we got the 700 model, which I think the 700 one's pretty all okay to go actually anyway.
Yeah.
From when we did it last time, innit?
Yeah.
We just didn't add it this all, but so we can add that. I must find that on my hard drive. And I just add that anyway. Have you still got that one with the Black Beauty version?
Possibly, I'll have to have a look.
I should have it, but just in case I haven't, let me know if you have. But I should have it though.
Yeah, I'll have a look tomorrow.
I did think about adding the Fendt 900 as well and things like that.
I don't think I'll have a call for it.
No, I know some of the others fancy the 900, so.
I don't know a lot about it, mine.
But yeah, I wanted to get the Fendt Katana working properly and not lagging in the game because, as far as I work out, I think it was more the amount of textures on the model, not the not the polys, because the polys wasn't very high on it. I thought it was really high poly, but it's not. It's only like, well, it's it was quite acceptable, the amount of polys, so
Yeah.
there's obviously something else was wrong with it, but hopefully I can solve the problem whatever was causing the lag on it. I know it had quite a number of different texture files, so that could be why.
Yeah.
But I'll probably just re-UV the whole model and do brand new textures for it probably. Probably be quicker and easier, and it'll make it look better as well then.
Yeah.
Need to add the Fent combines as well.
Changing the name of my farm to Fent Farm.
Fent Farm, yeah. Fenton Farm.
Yeah.
Fenton with a D. It's funny actually, I actually have been really fancying playing a more open arable base map. Just for a change of scenery.
Yeah.
Using the bigger kit and stuff. I saw actually somebody make an interesting. I think it was the Seb actually from Realismus Modern. He made a point on Giants Forum because he's been replying to a lot of the posts about the FS22 and proposed features that people want to see and stuff.
Yeah.
And he made an interesting point with something I'd considered with how we've done a lot with the Bale stuff on the server to make it easier. And he was saying about because Bale physics seem to be something that they can just never get right, Giants. Is if it's that impossible to make them work properly, then don't bother and make it so that it's like you have like UAL light trailers, and you have auto load forks and stuff and things like that, and then you have like bale stack areas in barns that you place, and then when you unload them, it automatically stacks the bales for you and things like that.
Yeah.
Which I thought was quite an interesting idea, sort of viewpoint. It was like, oh yeah, that's because like we've done a lot of that with ourselves, like with what Ian's done with the like pallet stuff,
Yeah.
because they're so, no matter how carefully you stack them, they just go all over the place. I thought it was an interesting proposal. It's like, well, if they can't find a way to do it properly, then don't even bother and make it work properly in the game instead.
Yeah.
What's happened now?
Crashed into a bale grab. Thought I'd missed it, but I haven't. I'll find the right thing eventually. I've only got 12 grand in the bank.
You need to ask Wayne for a loan. Interest-free loan.
I'll grind it, I don't know. More fun grinding it. I've only got 1.2 million litres of science.
No blinking it. I'll have it.
That's the same as cow food.
Hmm.
That's one thing that bugs me about FS, is the fact that you can start scooping sides out your clamp and it covers the entire clamp.
Doesn't do the partial one.
No.
Just I thought it did it in a single player, or maybe I've forgotten it.
No.
It does the whole clamp, does it?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't do the whole clamp, but if you scoop too high up or something, it takes off the next section. It's annoying.
One more field to rake, and then that's me done for night.
Yeah, it's a bit more feed and then
I'm thinking next year I might start selling some of my sheep next year. I must check when they're worth the most. I think it's the spring they're worth the most. Because I'm over 200 now, and it's like... Although it's not too bad. It's not like they don't take much to feed, really. It just means either me or Jason needs to be on it at least once every 3 days to top them up all the time.
yeah.
Oh, hey, lag spike then. Down Hatton Lane. Haven't seen Stu for ages. Hope he's okay. Yeah. I just know he's been busy because he's sorting out all the with the doctor and stuff, and so it's been a bit of a busy time for the moment.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll hear from him again soon. I'm raking by your farm now, so at field 79.
I'll just try to get this one all to reverse.
Which trader's that?
The little 12-foot Marshall.
Ah. Yeah, it's ironic, really. It's actually easier to reverse those trailers in real life than it is in the game.
I think you just want to use the longest way. So.
Yeah. Your cow's gonna get out.
Yeah. I might want me to open it. Sort out this bale grab, and then that's it, job done.
Yeah, the stunning sunset tonight. Well, it was actually after sunset sky. It was one of the sunsets where the sun set and it was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then it started going darker, and then suddenly the sky on the horizon just lit up like bright pink.
Yeah.
It's really amazing sunset, like sort of dusky sky. But it's a pain I couldn't get a good picture at all, so it's a shame. Couldn't do it justice.
Yeah.
The weird thing was, it was like there for about 15-20 minutes, and then suddenly I turned to go and say something to Sarah, and then literally like turned back and it was gone. It was like somebody had like switched the light out. It was really strange. It was just there for that bit of time and then gone. Nice though.
Yes. I'm going to turn my stream off and then try and sort out my microphone issues. So, peeps watching, thanks for watching. And I'll catch you all again soon.